I want to get to the masculinity because it's really important. Just let me finish on Trump. Do you worry for his safety? That's number one. Number two, do you think the first 100 days will be very impressive? Or do you think that right now the leftists are digging in and they're really going to put up a fight to slow him down any way possible?
I think what you just said is going to be the reality, but I think he's going to do well. I keep up with presidents, and what I have used as a barometer for the last 50-some years is how many pages of proposed legislation or programs do they walk into the White House with on day one? And Trump's already set up his crew. They're in operation. They've got a lot of stuff drafted. I think they will go far, and they have that mandate. Now, on the other hand, Barack Obama, I was very much aware of the circumstances attendant upon him. He walked in the White House with absolutely nothing in writing or proposed, even though he had, and he didn't come up with anything except what Geithner wrote for that bailout bill to various failed corporations. But I think Trump has the momentum. I think since he is not trying to please anybody but the public, he'll do what's necessary. Biden, Obama, Clinton, Bush, the problem with them is they were too closely related, literally, and too much wrapped up in the business interest where they viewed being in the White House or as a stepping stone to what was going to happen after. I call their relationship into question. Now, there is a person you should look up. His name is Samuel Hinckley, Hinckley, late of Cape Cod, America. Samuel Hinckley had 7 of his descendants who were U.S. presidents, 1 who was a vice president, several who were governors, and several who are billionaires. And when I say who are, they're still alive. So you had the spectacle of George Herbert Walker Bush, president of the United States, having a first cousin who was the grandfather of a future president. That's Barack Obama's maternal grandfather, was George Herbert Walker Bush's first cousin. So George Walker Bush is Barack Obama's cousin. Dick Cheney, vice president of the company firm Halliburton, vice president of the United States and CEO of Halliburton, is also cousin to the Bushes and to Obama. Sarah Palin, who was John McCain's running mate.
Joining the investment club can bring you the opportunity for peace of mind, wealth, resources, community, and a more joyful time. It was a whole new world for me to hear about cryptocurrency, an alternative to the traditional banking system that we have. The investment club gives us a chance to think about what wealth really is, to have the freedom to live your life that you want. In just 1 month that I've been a part of the investment club, I have listened to so many visionaries with new ideas in the world of music, in the world of finance, in the world of artificial intelligence. When I have questions, there's members of the club willing to support and help and want to see one another gain experience and knowledge.
When he ran against Barack Obama, she was Obama's cousin because they were all nieces and nephews of a gentleman by the name of George Herbert Walker, who founded Halliburton and set up Zapata Oil, which was a holding, well, not a holding company, but a company that George Herbert Walker Bush set up. Then he set up Zapata Offshore Oil, which was incorporated in Kuwait. In 1990, when Saddam Hussein went in to take back Kuwait and naturalized everything, the Bush family enterprise was essentially broke. When Gulf War I went down and was completed, they were no longer broke. They had Zapata Offshore Oil, Inc. restored. Barack Obama's mother, who wound up running a few things, not much, was a pawn under his grandmother who dispensed funds for the CIA. It's acknowledged now. Out of the bank, she wound up vice president over in Hawaii in the Southwest Pacific. She was familiar with an individual by the name of Lolo Sotoro, who ran the contract operations for espionage for the U.S. government in China, North Korea, North Vietnam, Cambodia, and Laos, and also ran the death squads for the Indonesian government. As a matter of fact, he was wanted at one time for allegedly being responsible for killing 500,000 Indonesians. He also was international vice president of Standard Oil and was familiar with the Bushes and a few other people in terms of his oil business. So Standard Oil wanted to get into Indonesian oil. They set him up. They propped him up. He already had the muscle. So Barack Obama became part of that cabal. And by the way, the richest president in U.S. history is not Donald Trump. It is Barack Obama, who inherited 1/3 of the remaining fortune of one of the world's richest men, his adoptive dad. So you have to take that kind of thing into consideration. So I imagine it takes another billionaire to come into the banks to say, hey, I'm not trying to be like your flunky Joe Biden, who's been on civil service his whole life, but he's a billionaire now. I'm not trying to be like Clinton, who came out of a situation being trailer park trash, but is very rich now. I'm not doing that because I don't need it. I didn't even cash the checks the first go around. I donated them back. I'm trying to set up good government as a legacy. And that's what I'm doing. So you get people with different motivations, and when you bring this to bear, you get a different perspective when you get behind the scenes. But do look up Samuel Hinckley.
I will for sure. Yeah, that's fascinating.
It's interesting when you see his connections. Now, I belabored that, but that's some of the stuff people need to know. We have our royal families in the United States, and all of the things that tie in, just like the English have their royals.
Hey, I know investing in crypto is scary. It takes a real leap of faith because there are so many scams, rug pulls, and bad actors out there. It's a dangerous business, which is why 95% of people lose all their money. Well, that's why I created the London Real Investment Club, so you can access the hottest deals on the planet and use the crypto bull market to create the generational wealth that you deserve. Join my team of over 100 people from around the world that are making millions of dollars behind the scenes investing in blockchain, AI, Web3 games, DeFi, Bitcoin, and more. Don't miss out. Click the link below to book a call with one of my team now. But hurry, this bull market will end soon.
I know investing in crypto can be scary. That's why you gotta join the investment club. Pull the trigger. Let's do this.